Last night at the Uniting Church of Lismore, I spoke about the need to listen to our veterans and former military types. The only trouble with that scenario is that soldiers generally don't tend to talk about themselves or what they really did. So today I've decided, rather than prepare a speech, to share a little bit about my own experience, and I'm going to ask you to bear with me because it's not easy. There's a culture of silence in our military. Soldiers generally are supposed to be strong and resilient characters, and being emotionally candid about what really goes on for them can often be seen as a sign of weakness, can be seen as being disloyal to your former comrades. And this culture, as you ascend the military social order, this culture intensifies so that by the time you reach the ranks of the SAS, speaking about what you do is tantamount to a sacrilegious act. The SAS in times of war operate on the enemy side of the line, and for that reason your chances of capture are greatly increased, and to that end the regiment engages in what is known as code of conduct training. Code of conduct training basically involves you being taken into custody by a group of people. You're stripped naked and handcuffed. A bag is placed over your head and you're removed to a isolated location many miles away. And over the following few days, you're systematically tortured. The military refers to this process as interrogation. However, it's not like being interviewed by the local police with your solicitor current at present. It's a little bit more intense than that. Code of conduct training takes place on bare ground or concrete in winter. You're sat in a very uncomfortable cross-legged position. Your hands are bound behind your back with plastic-coated wire, and with a bag over your head, you remain in complete darkness. If you twitch or try to stretch your back, there's an individual standing over you the whole time, and you're beaten, kicked and yelled at until you remain still. At regular intervals, you're dragged away to be interrogated, and what that involves I will not talk about in front of children. I remember ambulances being called in to remove those people who had succumbed to this process. Remember, we're talking about supremely fit young soldiers. And I recall speaking afterwards with my comrades, and we agreed quietly amongst ourselves that capture was not an option, and that if capture appeared imminent, we would reserve the last bullet for ourselves, and if one of us was injured or unable, then his mates would dispatch him. I go to Lismore Cinema sometimes to watch a movie, and sometimes I see the Defence Force ads encouraging young folk to join the Navy or the Army, and I see a rock and roll infused adventure that looks really good, but I wonder which army are they advertising, because it certainly wasn't the one I served in. I think if more soldiers can find the courage to stand up and be honest about what really went on for them, then the importance of maintaining peace for the wider community will become very obvious. And I thank you for listening to me today, and I welcome you to take this story into the wider community. in the hope that other soldiers out there will come forward also. Thank you very much.